Hello everybody, welcome to Shaz's channel. Today I'm going to talk about smartphones and notebook. Basically, what can one do with a smartphone and versus a proper computer notebook? The thing to remember is that the computer has a whole lot more functions than a basic phone. Unless you are a owner of a factory and then you are hiring and firing people, you need messages on the go of looking after 500 employees, for instance. And just a FYI, smartphones were, basically a mobile phone was invented back in the 1980s for airport staff. There's always two mindsets for this, but we're going to go with the latter one, using a device professionally and making more output-oriented work. The thing to remember is that if you have a smartphone and you're getting emails, for instance, I had several emails coming to me, and whatever I was thinking during that day, after one repeated email coming over, and then I just lost track of my deep thoughts, and then or just other thoughts. It just sidetracked me totally. So unless you're hiring resource manager, looking after certain staff, or you're making some important money, and then online, and you need a phone to check that live. So basically, either you're making $1 an hour, $10 an hour, or $100 an hour. So I mean, that's the only function that seriously productivity-wise that a smartphone can be used for. That's the functional person or individual versus the dysfunctional person. So I'm going to get into two topics here. Functional, the first one using cost-effective purposes, and the second one dysfunctional. Now 99% of the population, they usually use dysfunctional reasons for using text messages, emoticons. I'm not going to get into this list. Yes, but you guessed it. That's what the devices use these days primarily. I mean, it is sidetracking, and like I said, the other day I was just having some thoughts, and the phone was kept bothering me. And I said, can I just get rid of it? So that's why the topic of in the beginning, smartphones versus notebooks. So I'm just gonna say, you can get a notebook, not as in the laptop notebook, a notebook as in the paper notebook. I'll show you a picture of that. Please bear in mind. Now this is a notebook that does the same thing as any organizer or a smartphone. All you have to do is use your hand and a pencil or a pen. If you look at it, you're not really doing much with a smartphone, straight up. And besides, if you have a really contract-based carrier, I'm not going to name the carriers, then you have to stick with that carrier for like 3 years when you sign up. So basically, it's a real burden, per head. Unless you're sharing it with a group of people, or some or from a company or assigned to you.